Even one drop, that's all it takes. Tonight, millions of people will drizzle just a little bit of this oil onto their salad, into their skillet, or over their vegetables. Without knowing, they may have just started a chain reaction their body might never fully recover from. A drop so small, so ordinary, and yet, what if I told you that this one drop could silently trigger inflammation, stiffen your arteries, spike your blood sugar, and even speed up brain aging, all while you feel completely fine? But here's the real kicker. Why does your doctor never mention this oil? Why is it still sitting on every supermarket shelf? And why are people over 60 more vulnerable to its effects than anyone else? Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll not only know the truth about this hidden danger, you're going to know how to replace it, reverse its effects, and maybe even buy yourself a few more years of vibrant, healthy life. Make sure to hit that subscribe button now, especially if you're over 55, because the tips I'm about to share could become the turning point for your health. You see, what we're really dealing with here isn't just about a bad oil, it's about an invisible shift that's happened in the way we eat, cook, and age. It's about the quiet habits, the ones we don't think twice about, that are setting off biochemical reactions with long-term consequences. And seniors, they feel it more than anyone. Why? Because their cells are more sensitive, their defenses are lower, and this oil, it exploits that weakness. Let's start by talking about the body at night. While you sleep, your body goes into repair mode. It rebuilds tissues, balances hormones, and clears out cellular waste. But certain compounds in this oil, called oxidized lipids, can disrupt that process entirely. Even a single serving can increase inflammatory markers overnight. And the worst part? You'll never feel it happening. No fever, no ache, nothing. Just a little more stiffness in the morning, a little more forgetfulness, a slightly elevated blood pressure reading. But over time, those little things become chronic conditions. Now let's zoom into your arteries. Your body relies on flexibility to keep blood flowing smoothly, like a soft rubber hose. But imagine pouring glue into that hose, drop by drop, day after day. That's what happens when you consume certain polyunsaturated fats found in this oil. They oxidize easily, and once inside the bloodstream, they latch onto LDL particles, the ones we already worry about. Oxidized LDL is like the bad guy version of cholesterol. It's sticky, aggressive. It clings to artery walls, causing damage that your immune system tries to patch up. And what does that patch look like? Plaque. Over time, it narrows your arteries, starves your heart, and sets the stage for a heart attack or stroke. But wait, it gets worse. Because this oil doesn't just affect your heart, it affects your brain. And for seniors, that's terrifying. Cognitive decline doesn't start with memory lapses. It starts with inflammation. Microglial cells, the brain's immune cells, become hyperactive in the presence of these oils. And when they're too active, they don't just clean up waste. They start attacking healthy neurons. Studies have shown a clear link between high consumption of oxidized seed oils and an increased risk of dementia-related diseases. So if you've been feeling foggy, forgetful, or just not as sharp, this could be why. And still, this oil is everywhere. Canola, soybean, corn, sunflower, safflower, vegetable oil. They all seem harmless, even healthy, but most of them go through industrial processing so intense it strips the oil of natural antioxidants and turns the remaining fats unstable. Add high heat, light, or air exposure, and you've got a free radical cocktail. And remember, seniors already have less antioxidant protection. That means more damage, faster. Here's another piece of the puzzle: your blood sugar. Most people think of sugar spikes and crashes as a carb problem, but certain oils can directly impair insulin signaling. They make it harder for your cells to absorb glucose. So even if you're eating healthy, even if you're cutting carbs, that salad dressing with just a little vegetable oil could be sabotaging your blood sugar every single day. This is especially dangerous if you're pre-diabetic or already managing type 2 diabetes. Your medications might not be failing. You might just be eating the wrong oil, and this is where the curiosity deepens. Because if this is so dangerous, why are we still told it's heart healthy? Why do big health organizations promote oils that have been linked to systemic inflammation? It's not a conspiracy, it's momentum. decades of marketing, policy, and research funding tied to certain crops. But the science has moved on. And if you're watching this, so can you. So what do you do instead? The switch is simple. You want oils that are stable, oils that resist oxidation. That means extra virgin olive oil. It means avocado oil. Even grass-fed butter, in moderation, is less inflammatory than the highly processed stuff. Coconut oil? Also a good choice. Not because it's trendy, but because it's chemically stable under heat. And don't worry, I'm not asking you to give up flavor. In fact, these alternatives taste better. They're more satisfying. They don't leave that greasy film in your mouth or that bloated feeling in your stomach. Your body knows the difference. And if you're over 60, your body needs that difference more than ever. Now here's the benefit you can feel within days. Less joint pain. Many seniors report a reduction in morning stiffness within just a week of removing inflammatory oils. Why? Because their immune system isn't constantly responding to tiny threats. It can finally rest. That energy gets redirected to healing, not defending, and that's just the start. Your skin may look brighter, your digestion improves, your mood stabilizes, blood pressure lowers, sleep deepens, all from one simple change, one drop avoided at a time. But the most powerful transformation? Awareness. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. Once you know the trigger, you can take control. You'll read labels differently. You'll ask better questions at restaurants. You'll start noticing which meals make you feel energized and which ones leave you drained. It's not about fear, it's about freedom. So next time you're about to saute something in vegetable oil, stop. Ask yourself, is this drop worth it? And that brings us full circle. It's not just oil, it's a choice, a turning point. Because when you take that drop out of your kitchen, you're not just protecting your arteries, you're making room for vitality, clarity, and strength to return. If you're over 50 and your joints ache when you get out of bed, go upstairs or just try to enjoy a walk. It's not your age, and it's not your fault. The real issue? Your body's running out of a natural substance that cushions your joints like a shock absorber. And most supplements out there, glucosamine, collagen, all of it, don't fix this. But now, researchers have discovered a breakthrough that can actually restore what your joints are missing. And people in their 60s, 70s, even 80s are seeing real relief. If you're feeling stiff, sore, or weaker lately, stop guessing. Check the link in the pinned comment now. Let's keep going. Because now that you know how just one drop of the wrong oil can set off a chain reaction in your body, especially if you're over 60, it's time to go deeper. Not into fear, but into empowerment. Into what you can do right now, tonight, to support your body's natural repair systems, protect your mind, and reclaim the energy that age has tried to take away. And yes, it all starts in your kitchen. The first thing to realize is that your body was never designed to deal with these man-made oils. Think about it. For most of human history, we didn't have industrial seed presses, bleach treatments, deodorizers, or high-heat extraction. We had olives, we had coconuts, we had animal fats, natural sources, minimal processing. But somewhere in the 20th century, convenience and mass production won, and seniors, those who grew up in the 50s, 60s, 70s, were the first to be fed. This new dietary experiment, hydrogenated oils, margarine, low-fat, everything. You were told butter was dangerous. You were told fat was the enemy. But what if that advice was based on flawed, outdated science? Let me take you back to one of the biggest nutritional shifts in American history, the demonization of saturated fat. In the 1970s, dietary guidelines told people to replace butter and lard with vegetable oils. This seemed logical at the time. Saturated fat raises cholesterol, and cholesterol clogs arteries, right? But here's what they didn't know then. Not all cholesterol is bad. And more importantly, it's not cholesterol alone that causes heart disease. It's inflammation, oxidation. And what causes that oxidation? You guessed it, those fragile, unstable oils. Now, if you're wondering, how do I know if I've already been affected? Here's what to look for. Subtle symptoms. Not full-blown illness yet, but little flags. That your body is struggling? Do your fingers swell in the morning? Do your knees feel tight when you first get out of bed? Is your memory just a little foggier than it used to be? Are your blood pressure readings creeping up, even though you've made no other changes? These are all signs that inflammation may be building in the background. And guess what? These oils are also notorious for disrupting your metabolism. They interfere with the delicate hormonal dance that governs hunger, fat storage, and energy. In particular, they can block leptin, the hormone that tells your brain, "I'm full." That means you keep eating, not because you lack willpower, but because your biology has been hijacked. And the older you get, the more sensitive your system becomes. A disrupted signal at 30 is annoying. At 60, it's dangerous. It can lead to weight gain, blood sugar imbalances, and a loss of muscle mass. And losing muscle after 60, that's one of the biggest risk factors for early aging, frailty, and falls. But here's the good news. Your body can bounce back, even in your 70s, even in your 80s, if you give it what it needs and remove what it doesn't. Let's talk alternatives. If you need to cook at high temperatures, use avocado oil. It has a high smoke point and doesn't break down as easily as seed oils. For flavor, go with extra virgin olive oil, rich in polyphenols, protective plant compounds that actually reduce inflammation. Grass-fed butter, if you're not lactose intolerant, it's a great option, packed with fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, and K2. These nutrients help calcium go to the right places, your bones, not your arteries. And coconut oil? Perfect for baking or sautéing. It contains medium-chain triglycerides, or MCTs, which your body can convert quickly into energy, especially helpful for aging brains that aren't as efficient at using glucose. Studies have shown that MCTs may support cognitive function in people experiencing memory decline. It's not a cure, but it is a smart step. So let's get practical. Go to your kitchen, pull out every bottle of oil, turn them around, read the ingredients. If you see canola, soybean, corn, cottonseed, sunflower, safflower, or the generic term vegetable oil, toss them. Seriously, don't finish the bottle. Don't use it up. That's like saying you'll finish the pack of cigarettes before quitting. Just get rid of them, because every drop counts. Next, look at the foods in your pantry. Crackers, chips, salad dressings, mayo, canned soup, granola bars, protein snacks, even the healthy ones. Almost all of them are made with these inflammatory oils. They're cheap, they're shelf-stable, but they are not stable in you, so start swapping. You can find clean brands that use avocado oil or olive oil, or make your own dressing with mustard, vinegar, olive oil, and a pinch of sea salt. You'll be surprised how fast your taste buds adjust. You'll crave simplicity. You'll start noticing how real food actually feels in your body. Light, energizing, nourishing. Now let's talk about the most overlooked benefit, your brain. Seniors are at a higher risk for neurodegenerative diseases. Yes, but brain health is not destiny. It's largely about fuel and inflammation. The brain is over 60% fat, and the type of fat you eat literally becomes the structure of your neurons. When you eat damaged oils, you build damaged cells. When you eat healthy fats, you build resilience. You build mental sharpness. You build memory. You build emotional stability. One study showed that people with the highest intake of trans fats, common in some vegetable oils and processed foods, had up to a 75% higher risk of developing Alzheimer's. But those who consumed olive oil regularly showed better cognitive performance and memory. That's not a coincidence. That's biochemistry. And what about your joints? For anyone dealing with arthritis or stiffness, removing seed oils may be the simplest, most effective change you can make. Why? Because these oils are high in omega-6 fatty acids. In small amounts, omega-6 is necessary, but in excess and out of balance with omega-3s, it becomes pro-inflammatory. That means more joint pain, more swelling, more fatigue. And for many seniors, this leads to decreased movement, which leads to muscle loss, which leads to even more stiffness. It's a vicious cycle, but it can be reversed. Even your skin will thank you. When inflammation decreases, circulation improves. Nutrients get delivered more efficiently. Collagen breakdown slows, wrinkles soften, skin tone evens out. You might even notice your complexion brightening, all because you stopped pouring invisible toxins into your bloodstream. So here's the bottom line. You don't have to overhaul your entire diet overnight. Just start with the oils. Replace them one by one. That alone can shift your health trajectory. It can reduce silent inflammation, stabilize your blood sugar, protect your heart, support your brain, and maybe, just maybe, help you enjoy more birthdays with clarity, strength, and vitality. Because it's not just about living longer, it's about living better, waking up without pain, remembering your grandkids' names, climbing stairs without feeling winded, laughing with energy that doesn't fade by noon. It starts with awareness, then action, then transformation. And if this content opened your eyes even a little, then you're going to love what's coming next. Watch the video that's now appearing on your screen. It dives even deeper into what most people get wrong about so-called healthy foods and how you can avoid the traps that make us age faster, feel worse, and lose control of our health. Click now. Let's keep building your momentum.